Hello everyone, my name is FlareBlitzed and welcome to Monochrome Valentine. It tends to hit us by surprise, doesn't it? When a relationship ends, our lives can change so dramatically. This is the story of Blake N. Lawrence and his chance encounter with the endlessly positive Selena. Perhaps I should make my webcam as well black and white for this experience. There we go, let us begin. Yep, there we go. The alarm went off early again. It has been doing that a lot more frequently. Maybe I should turn my own sound down so I don't deafen myself. I'd fix it, but I just can't summon up the will to do so. So this is a manga style romance visual novel. That alarm signals that it's Friday. But to be honest, I've grown to dislike the sounds of my day-specific alarms, but guess what? That makes you have all the more reason to get up because you don't like the sound. I can't remember if I had selected those sounds because they seemed fine at the time, or if I just didn't care enough to give it much thought. I knew I'd eventually grow to dislike the sound, but I didn't think it'd be this quick. Indeed, autopilot engaged. Perhaps this was a form of conditioning? I hear the sound. I get ready for work. Oh right, I don't work there anymore. The autopilot was so ingrained in my mind that I'd already gotten ready without realising that I'd already quit my job and didn't need to go. Damn it. That being said, staying here any longer wasn't an option either. We have to get into this. What's like the fact that each of these scenes have a page number to it? As you can see from the bottom right of the game screen, I need to go. That one desire was overpowering. My other senses. I should stay. Talk it out. Scream. Do something. Don't let it go. Let it go. I'm not going to go all frozen on you. All these thoughts, which were once a cacophony of madness, now silent as still water. And the only thought left standing was that this story had run its course. Lovely. I'm sorry. Chapter 1. Encounter. On this wonderful day of this monochrome environment. Clouds. Wait a minute, these pages should change, honestly. I'm not going to lie, these pages should change each time a CG comes to play, because you're going on a different page. Anyways, it's like I'm a marionette guided by invisible strings to my destination. What am I even doing here? I thought it would hurt less. Thought that I would be fine after a while. That's my bad. When it happened, it didn't feel real, like a phantom wound. More like a mental wound. I thought I was fine, but like a slowly festering wound, it kept growing until it consumed me. I just lost control of my actions. I don't know what level I'm operating now. Is it logic, emotions, some other mythical driving force that we don't know about? I don't know. I don't really know anything anymore. Yeah, you and me both. In my hand, a memento from the past 2 years. A month ago, this would have sparked joy. This made me feel like she was with me. A leash? Okay. This feels like a very specific kind of leash as well. Made me feel like she was with me, even when we were too busy to hang out. But now I feel angry, sad, empty. How did things get like this? Throw it. Get rid of it. It was as if a voice spoke directly into my ear, and my body reacted to its siren call. I reared back my hand, memento tightly grasped. Would this hurt her? Would she feel sad that I threw this away? Would she even care? I think the last part is the most accurate. Is this what I want? I hesitated. To an outside observer, I must have looked insane. Miming a throwing motion, wrestling with myself about whether to get rid of something that was once so precious to me. On one side, I thought that could... No, it would not return things to normal. You can't just throw something away and expect the memories of that thing to just suddenly vanish with it. No. it stays with you. I thought that things could return to normal. We'd have our fights before. We even had moments where it looked like we were going to split up for good. But we always found our way back to each other. And somehow there was something permanent on the horizon. I can't do this anymore. Not this time though. I feel as though you're never truly with me when we're together. Like you're only here because you feel like you have to, not because you want to. On the other side of my mind was just raw emotion. Irrational impulses compelled me to do this. And for a long time I've blamed myself. Thought that I wasn't being good enough for you. But the truth is, we're just not right for each other. And I don't think you'll ever be the person I want you to be. But guess what, darling? We're not always the person that we should be for your individualistic conveniences. Sometimes it is to accept that other person if you truly love them. But of course, if you have some pre-expectations of a person for you to love them, then that's your downfall. My hands tightened around Memento's edges, as my rationality gave way to despair. I'm sorry, but I can't do this anymore. Just a brief moment. It just took a brief moment for my arms to swing forth, and my fingers to loosen their grip for it to go flying out of my hand, as a yell of frustration rang out. Time seemed slow as I watched Memento veer way off course from where I intended, soaring off to the side, over the bridge, and I realized too late that doing this didn't feel right. Nah, regret. That's what I was feeling right now, but it was too late. It was gone now, though I could not see it for myself. I heard the splash as the Memento hit the water just beyond the bridge. Weird. It sounded heavier than I imagined. For a brief moment, a part of me wants to dive into the lake and search for it. Sorry for my voice crack there. But that was a pain. It's already gone. There's no way I could ever get it back. It'd be a waste of effort. And you'd just be like you'd be swimming to the past rather than swimming into the future. I turn around, not knowing where I'll go now, but suddenly feeling tired, I think to look around for a motel or so. Hey, you with a stupid face! Hello. I turn to see the owner of the voice being a girl. Seems about my age. She doesn't seem too happy for some reason. What are you doing on a day like today? And what are you doing with that memento that we just threw into the lake? In her hands I see the memento. Wait right there, I'll come to you. The girl jogged her way over to me and stared at me as if trying to get a read on the kind of person I was. At least, that's what I think she was doing. So, do you always just throw random objects at people? Ah, sorry, you're not hurt, are you? Who? Me? Nah, believe it or not, I'm much more durable than I look. Yeah, that's what they always say. I muster a weak smile as my eyes rest upon the memento in my hand. I just got this back feeling regret for getting rid of it, and I already want to repeat the same actions as if it somehow made me feel better. What's wrong with... Oh, little bug, you're in there? Huh? You trying to talk to us? It's pretty rude to stare so bluntly, you know. Excuse me, your eyes are right there, for goodness sakes. You know, the... What am I even saying? The ones that are close to your hat! No, I wasn't, I swear. Suddenly she breaks out into a laugh. It's fine, I'm just messing with you. Jokes aside. Her mood, tone and body language completely shifted from the kind of cool girl you'd be hanging out with in class to a girl who is probing you for information. What's your deal? Something bothering you? Is that why you've been throwing stuff at an innocent girl who's just... Look, we threw it on impulse and didn't realise you were there. We weren't aiming at you. What's your deal? I wonder why that took a long... Anyways, She's taking a dawn stroll and resting on the bridge. Something about her tone didn't sound right. Like there was another reason she was out here. If this were a game, I'd press her for information. Well, guess what, dude? You're in luck because this is a game. And yet, somehow, I feel like I wouldn't be able to get a straight answer out of her. We are strangers, after all, so I'll just drop the subject. It's a long story. That's so. Maybe you want to talk about it? Sometimes airing things out to a sympathetic ear can make people feel better. Are you saying you're sympathetic, then? What she said wasn't wrong. I know that talking about it could make me feel better, yet still... I looked away as if talking about it would be a shameful act. But I should just suffer in silence and not burden this stranger with my problems. It's a mixed bag. Wait right here a second. Where? After walking up to the vending machine and making a quick purchase, she returns with her hands held firmly behind her back. Here. That's very kind of you. From behind her bag, she produced a canned drink. It wasn't my favorite, but I appreciate the gesture nonetheless. Helos. You know, when people drink things, sometimes they find it difficult to hear things. Like when someone wants to talk about something bothering them. Would it be convenient if someone could talk about their problems without worrying if someone could hear and judge them? Does it make any difference, though? Isn't that supposed to food? What, like you can't hear someone over the crunch of, what's that? Can't hear while I'm drinking? Well, thanks very much. You just had to be like that, don't you? Rather than look at her, I instead choose to focus on the lake. I don't know, maybe I should try it. Pretend like she's not here. Maybe I'd feel a little better. Not like I had anything to lose anyways. I let out a long, drawn-out sigh. And for just a brief moment, I thought I saw her again. I was back in that hallway. I was close to someone for a long time. I could see her again. The first day we met, she strode into our dingy basement office with the manager. Hopefully one of their employees is not named Karen. She seemed so out of place. She wore a nicely tailored suit, carried a briefcase, had this sort of air about her that made me think that this was a girl who would be more natural commanding departments rather than working alongside one. She seemed so far to my league, so I never considered that we'd be anything more than co-workers. We used to work in it together. I remember she told me that she had been demoted as part of a redactary efforts by the company due to, as she put it, Macanavian-esque BS. It was like I was hearing her voice again. I wish I could say that we had a stereotypical romantic confession, but to be honest, we were just doing routine system maintenance when she asked. Yes, I am considering this to be a date, but it's not a date that really business-like compliments you. Though, I'd also like it if we just took a nice walk after work. I know how I look to others, but I don't need expensive dinner reservations or gifts. You know, when a person says that, it usually turns out to be opposite, where they do want that. I'd much rather spend time with someone like you than anyone else in the company. I guess it sounds pretty boring, but it's the truth. She asked me, and we started dating before I really knew what was going on. In retrospect, maybe I shouldn't have let things get that far. Maybe I should have been a better partner. But I looked down at the gift in my hand, and it was like I was seeing it again for the first time. The day she got me this. We were walking back. Oh, she got you that? Okay. We're walking back from work, thinking about where we were gonna go for the weekend. It was a simple routine, one we'd play out several times, autopilot engaged, but on this day, she went off the beaten path. She led us off to site and pulled out a small box from her purse. Here, I know I'm not the easiest person to be with, but I really do appreciate your company. So, I had this made for you. I don't really do much into it, it's just, I want to show you that I really care about you. It didn't hit me at first what this gift meant. Looking at it, it's a ring from one of my favourite game franchises that houses a thumb drive. It's thoughtful, practical, and romantic. She really went out of her way to give this to me. And what I give her instead? Nothing. A few days later, I prepared the gift she put a lot of thought and effort into giving me with a box of rare chocolates from a fancy confectionery a few blocks down from our apartment, something that I thought girls would like, something that I thought she would like, but she didn't. These seem pretty expensive. Thank you for this gift. I really appreciate it. That's what she said at the time, but it was a reaction I expected. I didn't question it at the time. Didn't want to. Couldn't see the writing on the wall. Maybe if I had taken just a moment to think about how she must have been feeling, I could have seen what came next. Another sigh escaped my lips, as the memory of the last day of our relationship played in my head like a film projected onto a wall. Yes, it's true. I'm transferring out of the department. I apologize for dumping this on you out of nowhere, but the truth is, about us, I think we should break up. She'd always been this unbreakable wall of strength, determination, confidence. Yet when she told me that, I saw anger, sadness, regret as clear as day, all painted in her face. For her, it was business first, relationship second. It felt like this has been the hardest decision she'd had to make, and I hadn't noticed it until the very last moment, when it was already too late to stop it. And in that moment, I just thought, please don't do this. But at the same time, another voice in the back of my mind told me that something that had been ignored this whole time. She deserves better than me. And now, the story's over. If I had to be honest, it sucks. That'd be putting it mildly, but I don't know what else to do. I wish there was something that I could do to make it right. To do something that'll change everything, to go back in time and stop myself from failing to see what was right in front of me. But I can't do that. What's done is done, and I have to live with this for now. Or, you can use this experience to forge a brighter future with another said person. Like with this Selena, for example, that's mentioned in the synopsis of this game. Suddenly, she stood up. I thought that she might want to walk away from this convo. I was a pretty bad... Oh, what? Doing what I do when I get frustrated and don't know what to do? You scream. You scream when you don't know what to do. Okay. The emotions kind of match that haphazard transformation of... Not transformation, the transition. She cupped her hands around her mouth and inhaled. My landlord is a jerk. See, just like that. Also, is your landlord a jerk? That's probably an inconvenience to other people, and I don't care. I'm sad. She nudged my shoulder. Sometimes you just gotta trust your instincts and let things out. You know, bottling all up can't be healthy. I think people can live with a little inconvenience. That's true. I know what she was trying to say, but not 100% of the time inconvenient. But I just didn't really feel like doing what she was doing. I thought it'd be an inconvenience to others, that it'd make me stand out or look stupid. The second part. That it was just a waste of time or effort. Yeah, almost every part of my body rejects her logic. Almost. What do you mean, almost? Inhale. I hate my job. My co-workers kept calling us in to fix problems that it caused and then blamed us when we weren't doing it fast enough. If it's so easy, then do it yourselves. Selena stifled a laugh. That's what you yelled about? I thought you'd yell about the girl you were just talking about. Yeah, well, I'm not quite ready for that yet. Alright, fair enough. I gotta say, Littlebug, this is probably one of the strangest first meetings I've ever had. Yeah, same with... Wait, do you think my name is Littlebug? Well, what else am I gonna call you? By my first name, thank you very much. How about Blake? Blake Lawrence. Huh? I don't know. That name sounds familiar. Maybe it's just one of those names people swear they've heard somewhere before. Yeah, maybe. Why did it feel like she was hiding something? Maybe I was just overthinking it. Perhaps sometime in the far, far past when we were kids, we were nursery schoolmates, but we departed from that. I felt like I was being carefully examined by a discerning eye at this point. Yeah? I'm certain we met somewhere before, but I can't really... Someone's phone is going off. I watch as her hand slowly move to take her ringing phone out of her pocket, knowing full well where that jingle came from. But I didn't really feel like addressing it since the look in her eyes was telling me that she had forgotten to change the ringtone. I'll be right back. Before waiting for my answer, she turns off to the side and walks a few steps away, talking to someone on the other end. I couldn't fully hear the entire conversation, mostly because she was speaking fluent Japanese, which an average person living here might not speak, but though I don't look it. My dad was in the military and stationed in Japan when I was in middle school. My Japanese language skills have become quite rusty since we moved away years ago, but I can still pick up some snippets of the conversation. Yeah, I'm awake. What do you mean? That's today. You're getting. What about Akiraharu? You or Ryan? What do you mean they went to a convention? I would have gone. Not much left to pack, probably. Suddenly her eyes drift to me as she goes silent for a bit. It's true, but I haven't known her for that long. However, something in my mind when I saw that look in her eye, I couldn't but feel that she was cooking up some kind of plan. Might have a backup plan. Yeah, I'm fine. Okay, bye. She looked as though she really wanted to tell me something, but was unsure of... So this is gonna be a weird one. I know we've just met, but... Could I ask for a small request? Do you want my number? So call me maybe. What is that weird request? Is it a date of sorts? We've only just met each other, so that'd be very, very weird. What's this chapter going to be? Page 53. Chapter 2. Request. A common saying is, life is often stranger than fiction. Today, I would agree with that. A girl I just met, who seems really nice, and cute, and funny, and cute. Did I say cute twice? You said it 3 times. Well, guess what? I'm going to say it again. Anyways, this girl, Selena, I don't know what she finds so special about me, but despite knowing me for less than 20 minutes, yeah, that is real weird. She invited me back to her place. Not for anything, yeah, exactly, not for anything lewd. She just wants me to help her pack and move some stuff in her house to a moving truck outside so she could then drive it to her parents' place. Lots of dots. Okay, I know that sounds suspicious. I had the exact same look when I imagined that any sane, rational person would have at being propositioned to return to a complete stranger's home, but I swear it's real. I swear it's real, okay? Let's see. There's the moving truck after all. Believe it or not, I did point out how weird it was to invite a complete stranger to your house to handle your stuff. What if I was a murderer, or a thief, or an alien? That last part there is only a psychological thing, because all strangers are aliens in some ways until you get to know them. They're not alienated to you. But then again, if you was a murderer, you would have murdered her by now. And if you was a thief, you would have stole her things and then threw her into a lake by now. Seriously, who would trust someone this much so quickly? She must know you from the past. Her response was to look at me for several seconds and then smugly smirk at what I assumed was the idea of me being threatening. I don't know if I should feel flattered or insulted. So why did I say no? So why didn't I say so? If I know how weird this situation is, then why is she a part ghost? Her opacity is not 100%. Well, she can be surprisingly persuasive. If this were an RPG, she would have dumped all her points into charisma and could convince the final boss to give up his 1,000-year plan to bring about eternal darkness and instead to close down shop, buy a suit, get a new house, and go back to school while working weekends at a local diner or... Okay, I'm just going to point something illogical about this sentence. Give up his 1,000-year plan to bring about eternal darkness. 1,000 years is not eternal. Eternal means, or eternal means, for the rest of time. Something like, so to speak. But then again, it could take 1,000 years to bring about that eternal darkness. So, maybe that's silly for me. Hey Blake, you there? Huh? I must have been just standing in front of a truck for a while in a trance. To be an outside observer, I probably looked like a thief. Anyone ever tell you that you space out a lot? Maybe. So this is my moving truck. What do you think? It's big? Seems like it holds a lot. It smells very much like a car? Continuing off the RPG analogy, that would have been a pretty low deception roll. Okay, I admit it, I'm not a car guy, I'm a failure of a man. Oh crap, how long have I been standing here without saying anything? Quick, say something so it seems like you were paying attention. This is definitely not a visual novel where we need to prompt the player to say something. Apples! You think the truck's manufacturers apples? No! You see this phone right here? It has Apple on it. That look of petty in her eyes hurt my soul. Quick change of subject. So this seems like a pretty nice neighborhood. How long have you lived here? Nailed it. Well, I moved here a few months ago. But yet you're just doing this today? You're only moving your stuff in today? Selena, you are one of a kind. Firstly, you somehow know me from the past because our name seems so familiar. And now secondly, you moved into an apartment a few months ago, but only today you decided to bring your stuff here so that you can actually make it feel like home. What is this about? Anyways, enough of me pandering. It was a bit close to my job, but guess it's not really an issue anymore. You only moved here a few months ago? Yep, guess it was just a time for a change. She stretches as she said this. I had that feeling again. Like there was something she didn't want to talk about. Perhaps I should be more suspicious considering how little I know. You coming? She'd already unlocked her front. Maybe she's already owned the apartment for a few months, but not actually moved in. Perhaps that was the thing I was not looking at. She'd already unlocked her front door and was standing in the hallway like a total madman. Oh yeah, sorry, just admiring this door frame. What's this dent here? Oh thanks, yeah, a pizza guy once slipped his shoelaces and bashed his head in the frame. Really? No, I'm just messing with you. I should really stop zoning out and narrate to myself. Blake! Coming! Eyes are coming. What I see the moment I walk in is a sparse-looking apartment with several boxes stacked together off to the side. On each box is a label telling someone the contents of the box. I can't help but wonder what her apartment looked like before she started packing. Maybe she's moving away. So, how much stuff do you have left to pack? Not much. She retrieved a cushion from the closet and put it on the ground where I imagine she wanted me to sit. Maybe I had this conversation wrong the entire time about the moving in, or actually in this case moving out. Maybe I'm wrong about that as well. Well, here we are. This place used to be much cuter, but now it's back to, well, its base form. Wait right here, I'll be back in a sec. At which point she disappears into the other room, leaving me alone in her living room. Let's see. She seemed nice. One room surprisingly spacious. Wait, was it? Not interior design. Honestly, there wasn't much to describe. Guess I could check my phone. Damn, battery died. It hasn't been that long, has it? Wait, how old is his phone? Maybe it's time for an upgrade. Okay, God. Thank God. Something to do. Here's what we're gonna do. Selena returned from what I assume was her bedroom with an armful of various stuff. And we're on the best page ever, folks. Honestly, it's a bit difficult to describe exactly what I'm looking at since there's just a random selection of stuff in her arms. I can see a pink towel with a cute character on it, a scarf, a beret, several stuffed animals, an assortment of pins, and she dropped it all on the floor in front of me, then went over to the corner where boxes of varying sizes were stacked up precariously like a mixed up parody of, what was that one game called with the stacking blocks? Tetris? Is that one you're thinking of? Django. Oh, I expect there to be some kind of funny joke in there. Oh well. So we take one of these things, and then put them in the box with a corresponding label, like so. She places the towel in the box marked as bathroom stuff. Alright, seems pretty straightforward. Oh yeah, totally, trust me. With the two of us, time should just soar right by. 45 minutes later. So the pile seems deceptively smaller than it originally looked. Yet, why does it seem like the pile got bigger? Is this some uncaring god's idea of a sick joke? Am I just tired and hallucinating? I didn't get much sleep last night. Or ever, actually. At least, not for the past 3 weeks ever since the breakup. Ah, right, with Selena's, let's call it nature, it's pretty hard to focus on the rift between me and Ashley. Is that a good thing? Is that the identity of the previous GF? Well, when I woke up this morning, I started out as an 8 on the sad scale, but now I'm a 5, so whatever this busy work is it at least seems therapeutic. I pick up what looks like a ribbon? A neckerchief? Do you mean handkerchief? Where's this thing and why does it seem so familiar? Oh hey, I know that. Can't believe I brought that with me from home. What is it? Turn it over. Ah, an emblem's printed on the fabric. But I didn't see what that has to... Wait a minute. This emblem looks familiar. A bird, flying through a crescent moon. It's unnecessarily fancy for... Oh, this is the crest of TKU Middle School. Ding ding ding, that's right. Hey, what's this mark on the bottom here? On the tips? I was going through my fashion asset phase, so I didn't feel right wearing the same thing everyone else was wearing, so I coloured in the tips with some dye. The teacher didn't notice? I'm honestly as surprised as you are. I see. So why'd you have it? I like to steal the neckerchiefs of preteen girls because I'm jealous of their youth. What a weird hobby you have. Just going around stealing neckerchiefs of people. Really? Oh my god, no, I went there when I was a kid. Jeez. What kind of weirdo do you think I am? Well, you keep mentioning weird stuff, okay? Actually, don't answer that question. I need to preserve my image as a cool beauty with a megawatt smile. Mega what is not exactly big. No, I was thinking of megabytes. But how did you know about it? Oh, well, I went there too. Though I wouldn't exactly call my experience a pleasant one. Not that I could remember much. But it seems that whenever I think of my time there, I feel more annoyance than joy. Of course, that might just be because everyone hates middle school. You're kidding, that's such a coincidence. Wait. She pulls in the middle of folding that towel and looks right at me. Remember I said that you seemed familiar to me? Yeah, that was like an hour ago, right? Yeah, so hear me out. You know the symbol? I know the symbol. What if the reason we seem so familiar to each other is because we met before over a decade ago back in middle school? That'd be a heck of a coincidence. I know, right? But what if it's true? Do you speak fluent Japanese? Sorry, I overheard you later. I do, yes. My mother is a Japanese citizen, so I spent a lot of my childhood in Japan. Oh yeah? What? So when I was starting middle school, my dad took us with him when he was stationed in Japan. Well, the timeline sure adds up. Oh, do you remember what class you were in? So I was going through some stuff at the time, so I can't really remember a lot of the finer details. I could barely remember what my homeroom teacher's name was. Oh, that sucks. She seemed genuinely disappointed by it. Oh, you know what? Never mind, she's back. I think I have a yearbook in here somewhere. If I can find it, then we can figure out if we were in the same class. Well, alright, could be fun. Great, so I'm going to check in the boxes. Because I know it's in here somewhere. Somewhere swimming through the boxes. Wait, should we be unpacking stuff that we just packed? Doesn't that seem... Sorry, can't hear you. Digging. She has a unique personality to her, for goodness sakes. Something told me that Selena was the type of person who would not easily deterred once she decided on something. It's not a bad trait in and of itself. Actually, it's kind of cute. And I can't really say that I'm not curious. She did seem familiar. Maybe we were friends in the past. Though it's weird that I don't remember her. Selena isn't exactly a common name in Japan. Maybe she used a nickname or a middle name? Then again, it's been about a decade since middle school. People forget things all the time. The mystery of our prior meeting aside, we should probably finish packing these boxes. I can't imagine she'll be able to rent that truck forever. Exactly. Reaching into the pile, I picked up what looked like an old camera? With the advent of digital cameras and phones, I don't really see these a lot anymore. Unfortunately, I didn't know enough about whether this was a professional camera used even today or at least a few years ago, or if it's more like a vintage camera. Not that there's anything wrong with vintage gear, just old stuff can still be just as good or useful as the top of the line. I remember it's one of those. I don't know how to pronounce them. Yeah, that's the name of my camera. Well, not that the name of this model, I named it. Was really into this one show at the time. I'm nearing a sneeze. Never mind. You know when you need to take a sneeze and it doesn't happen? That's one of the worst feelings ever. And that just happened just now. So that's why I talked like that. Wait, what was the previous slide? I didn't even get... There we go. She takes the old camera carefully in her hands, as if it were a precious treasure that could break if handled poorly. When I started middle school, my dad came back from one of his business trips and gave me this. According to him, he won it by freeing a genie from a bottle under the pale moonlight in a game of chance. Nah, I'm not buying it. Not really, nah. No, he was obviously lying. I think he just saw it in the display window for a discount and bought it for cheap. Oh, my memory stick is still in here. She ushered me over to sit next to her to look into the imager reader. Feeny. See here? My brother's birthday. Why'd you have him in a headlock? When you grow up in a house of brothers, you learn to be tough or they snap the heads off all your dolls. Did that really happen? Next slide. Wait, no, seriously, did that actually happen? Oh, and here's the dress I made for the school play. Aww. Oh, really? I think I remember that one. Yeah, the teachers let the students write the story because they were sick of putting on the same performance every year and wanted something new and fresh. Yeah, but in retrospect, putting a bunch of hormonal preteens in charge of writing was not the best idea. At least the dresses were good. Next slide. Oh hey, this is from my high school graduation trip. Huh? Weird. Did I not use this camera for a while or something? Maybe you placed different photos on different memory sticks and left this one in the camera? I think so. Wonder what else is on here. I saw a flash of pink and she immediately turned the camera away. You didn't want us to look at that, right? That's why you have that expression. What in the hell is going on? What's that? Did you see? Well, did you see? I saw everything. I saw nothing. Did I see what? In this situation, it's better to just lie. Oh, hey, I think I left something in the other room. I'll be right back. Oh, well, alright. I'll just put the rest of the stuff away then. She pauses midway through the doorframe and quickly turns around. Actually, could you load the packed boxes into the moving truck? That's what she was saying, but what she actually meant was probably, I think I might have some other embarrassing things in the past, so could you take the box into the truck so I could quickly check and hide that stuff? Sure thing. Thanks, you've been a real help. Hang on, let me just get the key. Though I never forget what I saw, I will take that knowledge to my grave. What was it that you saw? And heave ho. And with that last bit of exertion, the last box was in the truck. I can guess what it was. She was in a fluffy pink bunny onesie. That's what it was. Well, sorta. She had sequestered herself in her room, carefully going over what was left herself. I guess she didn't want me to see another example of classified. Oh dear, so with nothing to do, I guess I'll just sit here in the back of a truck. Pretty nice outside. What if Ashley's awake now? Stop looking at your past for answers for the future, okay? You've got another friend now. No, don't call. You don't need to call. Wait, no, phone's dead. Why did I put a charger? What's this in my pocket? It's the drink Selene brought for me earlier. Guess I forgot to drink it. Now is what you call a convenient time to drink it. Well, might as well. As soon as I open the can, it suddenly makes an unexpected noise, which caused me to jolt backwards, causing me to tilt one of the boxes. Operating instinct, I managed to catch the box just before the contents fell. That was close. Or at least, that's what I thought until I noticed the box was upside down and some of the objects had already spilled out. Ah, crap, better clean this up. First, I put the box right side up. Next, I started packing up the items that fell out. Books. Printed on the books were years of artistically designed covers along with the names of schools' obviously yearbooks. Oh dear, I shouldn't look. Maybe it's an invasion of privacy. I'll begin to put them back in the box when I see one of the boxes labeled TKU Middle School. It should be a pretty familiar book because I had the same one, though it's back at my parents' house. Oh yeah, we probably went to the same middle school. Come to think of it, she was curious about our school past, even tried looking for this specific yearbook. Guess a quick peek won't hurt. I dispensed with the curious approach and immediately opened up the yearbook. Now let's see, where am I? It didn't take long to find me. Class 2B, back corner row in the class photo. Heh, even in the past, I still had an introvert streak. I guess more things change, more things stay the same. Now let's stop wasting time. Where's Selena? Looking into the class list yielded no results. No one named Selena in the bunch, and no one who looks like her. Guess she wasn't in my class then? A quick scan of the other class lists yielded no results either. Her name's Selena, right? Maybe I was spelling it wrong? Did she maybe go by a different name? There's gotta be a hint, some way to tell her apart. Yeah, the tips of her neckerchief were painted. Yep. Some dye. Marks on the tips. I went back to my class, scanned for a girl with marked tips, nothing. Next class, there she was! Ah. Just to be sure, I looked in the other class photos of all the girls in our year. She was the only one with dyed tips. Thank God I found her, because I don't really want to go looking through the other years or in other books. Still, heck of a coincidence I found the exact yearbook I needed. So that was the young Selena Air? Oh, she looked pretty different from how she is now. I thought our school had a strict dress code where girls had to keep their hair a particular length, no makeup, no decoration of any sorts. Boys had similar rules, but it was mostly to keep our hair trimmed. I hated it. I want fabulous long hair! Looked like Selena had a bit of a rebellious streak. While her uniform was fine at a glance, she found subtle ways to silently rebel against the dress code. The dyed-tip neckerchief was just one part of it. Huh? When I look at this photo, I expected some memories to appear, but I guess it doesn't just work the way it does in the movies or in games. Did you know you were in a game right now? I didn't feel nothing though. When I looked at her photo, I felt sadness? Some of my memories seem to be stirring. Are you trying to remember stuff from middle school then? Do you remember this individual back then? But what could it... Excuse me? Huh? Then I hastily scrambled to put it back in the box, not realizing until later I didn't need to do it. Hello, hi. How's it going, I mean? What can I do for you? Do you work for the movers? No. Do you know where Selena is? She's inside doing... Crash. That. Do you need some help? I could go get her if you want. No! What I really need is for this truck to be moved. I need to pull out my car, but I can't. Oh yeah, of course. Let me just pull the truck out of the driveway. I awkwardly stammered as I made my way to the front of the truck, hoping that this person wouldn't know that I've never driven a truck before. Alright, so I just need to drive the truck to let you out? Yes, that's exactly what I said. Don't tell them you've never driven a car, let alone a truck. Maybe I should get Selena. Yeah, the tapping of their foot impatiently on the ground was almost like a max rank taunting spell. I'll show you. I'm just going to be moving the truck forward slightly. How hard could that be? Look, just don't do anything rash, okay? After hopping up to the driver's seat, I put the key in ignition and after fumbling with it. Then I turned the key expecting to hear the engine or something turn on. Instead, there's something like this stalling sound and the car refuses to start. Crap. So, do you know what you're doing? Sorry, it looks like there might be a little problem. I see. The neighbor pulls out their phone and swipes on it. Well, I'm going to go back inside and make some coffee. See ya. And I was alone again. Well, what's wrong with it? Honestly, I couldn't even begin to figure out what was wrong with the truck. As I've no doubt mentioned before, I work on computers, software. Mostly, those skills don't exactly translate to vehicle maintenance. Maybe it's just an issue of you putting the key into the keyhole. How do I even determine the problem? I just turn on the engine. It makes this weird noise. And then it just doesn't turn on. What does that even mean? Maybe that doesn't make any sense! I quickly hop out of the car and do a quick tire check by kicking the tires to see if they feel like they're out of air. Does that even make sense? Upon the confirming-ish that the tires have finally moved to the next thing, what if I didn't turn the key right? It felt wrong the moment it came out. Okay, if there's a sound issue, let's pop the hood. How do I pop the hood? I thought it would be right next to the same place where I opened up the back door hatch thing, but that didn't work. Hey wait, do I even need to do that? Maybe that's just a a bracket door thing. What if I just tried opening the hood myself? Honestly, this is a little embarrassing. You could just get Selena to just do this for you, you know. I'll start by Selena's sudden presence. Hey, how's it going? Well, I found a box set of one of my favourite series of all time hidden in the pile, so I was coming out here to get my spare laptop charger from the truck. But then I saw you here and had to watch what you were doing, and she looked at me with the same petty, you know, a child playing basketball who didn't even get close to sinking a shot in the hoop. I'm a software guy. I mumbled under my breath, mostly for my own ego more than anything. What was that? Nothing. I just casually scooted over so Sunita could get into the driver's seat. Oh yeah, that shouldn't be difficult to fix. You know how to fix cars? I grew up in a house with enough brothers to start my own baseball team, remember? In that kind of household, you learn a few things here and there. I'm going to head in the back and get my toolbox in the meantime. She produced a slip of paper and pressed it into my hand along with a $50 bill. Remember that convenience store we passed by on the way here? While I fix the truck and help Rob so they can go to their mistress's house, you could pick up some snacks. You could buy some stuff for yourself as well and keep the change. Sure? Great, thanks! Oh, one more thing. If they have Helianzen in stock, can you pick me up some? Actually, more than that. Actually, more than the snacks I want the drink. They only sell them in that specific store. Okay, that seems doable. Well, I'm off then. Take care, come back soon. And after we're done moving in, if you want to stay and watch the series with me, I'll be happy to have you join me. Well, okay, good luck. Bye. Barrier up. She seems like the bossy type of person. Sort of reminds me of someone in a way. I don't hate that though. Do I have a type? I don't know. Maybe just like being bossed around. Maybe some people have that kind of kink. You're closed? But the sign says, sorry sir, we just experienced a little delay when it comes to opening. The man, who I could only assume was the clerk, stood behind the door with just a crack open while frantically looking behind him every once in a while. If I didn't know any better, I'd think this was some kind of diversion. He was robbing the store. He did seem pretty suspicious. And I don't mean that he looked suspicious, I mean that he was sweating, twitching, looking around, and was holding a baseball bat behind his back. Just saying, with all those elements, he seemed like a pretty suspicious guy. Oh well, alright then. Do you know how long it's going to... All of a sudden the sound of several heavy objects crashing blasted through the interior door of the convenience store. Look, there it is! Grab it with the net! What was that? Nothing. It worries me how he said that with a straight face. Are you sure? Because it seems like there's something... Oh god, look at its teeth! Strange going on. It's up in the ceiling tiles, don't let it escape out the bag! What? In there, in the bag? Oh no, it's only a bat. A bat? Yes. Suddenly one of the cashiers came crashing out through the glass windows on the side of the store. Just a bat. The cashier who was thrown out got right back up, grabbed his mop, and dashed around the back. Okay. I've had enough of that. Just gonna ignore all of this before I get dragged into some strange monster hunting plot or something. Well, if I can't go in, can I buy some stuff from out here? I have a list. I say this as I quickly hand him the note that Sneer gave me, and watch him read the note while his other arm seems to swing at something behind the wall. I don't know what it was, but it sounded like it was snarling, and I was definitely not going in there. Okay, I'll be right back with your items. You can sit over there in the parking lot, and I'll be right back with you. I then watched this man look at me as if I was the last time... As if it was the last time he expected to see me. Take a deep breath, and then shut the door behind him, along with several locks being engaged. Scream something in another language, and then more snarling. Gosh, this day continues to get weirder and weirder. Considering how unusual this day has been, this convenience store tops the charts in weirdness. I don't know. I feel like if I were watching this from an outsider's perspective, I'd think this whole episode feels a bit weird and out of place, like having a samurai duel in the middle of period drama about upper-class nobility in 19th century England. Yeah, that does seem very weird, I'm not gonna lie, you do have a good point there. Anyways, still, they say that truth is often stranger than fiction. That's definitely true. At least this will be an interesting story to tell to my descendants, if I ever have any. I'm not alone here. It's a convenience store, but the parking lot almost resembles a tailgating party where the items here really special? Maybe, but I get the feeling some people were just here having an improv party. Well, this is a pretty weird neighborhood. Hey buddy, got a light? Huh? You know, a lighter for a cigarette. I'm sorry I don't smoke. He lets out the weary sigh of someone who's had a rough day and took out the unlit cigarette out of his mouth. Probably shouldn't have been smoking anyways. Disgusting habit. Bad for my health. And unnecessary expense. As he says this, he puts the cigarettes back in the pack and scoots the pack into the nearest garbage bin. Nothing but net. Why do I know that phrase? It's kind of like a business mean, like a net profit. You're not from around here, are you? What makes you say that? Well, spend enough time around here, you tend to recognize a few people. See that guy over there? Calls himself Mace because he heard it in a movie once. Real name's Michael, though. Hates it. Says it's too generic. The lady chatting up that mailman there is Gloria. She's a flirting addict. She'll flirt with anyone. Don't know how serious she gets. I don't think she even came here to buy anything. And that's Andrew. Everyone hates him. Nobody remembers why. You, on the other hand, never seen you before. You kind of stand out from the rest of these people. Well, yeah, I'm just a visitor. So, you live around here or something? At this, he suddenly broke out laughing as I told him the funniest joke in the world. It took him a minute to settle down. Ha! Nah, I know someone. All of a sudden he pauses. Well, I used to know someone who lives around here. Used to know? Oh, I'm sorry for your loss. Oh no, I didn't mean they died. It's just that where he once seemed like an open book, now it seemed like his stance had shifted, becoming more closed off with this topic. We had a falling out, and of course I thought I could fix it. That I could take away all the pain, anger and sorrow with just a handsome smile and a great speech. Always acting and never thinking. We ended things pretty badly overseas, so the first thing I did when I got home was ask about them at work, thinking that we could still be friends and colleagues. No, when relationships end very badly, you never keep in contact with one another. Then I learned that they had decided to quit. That sounds familiar. So I ignored the advice of everyone around and rushed to her place to talk about things. I don't really know what I expected. I went in there thinking that I could just undo everything because I'm so used to everything going my way. I mean, look at me. He gestured to his well-toned physique, impeccably sculptured face, and general "I got this" demeanor. I got about as far as the corner of her street when I felt something I hadn't in a long time. Doubt. What was I even doing there? What could I possibly say or do to make things better? How do I fix this to make it go back to normal? Truth of the matter is, some things can't be taken back, so I left. Had my chauffeur turn the car... Chauffeur? Yeah, turn my car around and drive off without accomplishing anything. What am I even talking about? Yeah, why am I even talking about this to a complete stranger? Sorry man, you've probably got better things to do than this to me whine about my love life. We both have some kind of love life sort of thing. Why did you break up? Yeah, that's the next question. Beg your pardon? That person you were talking about, was she your girlfriend? She was someone that I was fond of. We were exclusive, but she was the person I was spending the most time with. Right, so what went wrong? I suppose the honeymoon phase had ended. I left overseas for a job. which gave me something I hadn't experienced in a while, the feeling of freedom. I didn't realize how much the prospect of commitment felt like a cage. But I'm guessing she wanted something more? Who doesn't? I'd always known we were going to have that conversation eventually, but I simply chose to ignore it. We ignored a lot of things, our plans, our differences, our level of commitment. Yeah, I get that. Honestly, it was a matter of time until it all came crashing down. And so after that you came back home and wanted to see her again? That was the plan. And now? The sound of a honking car cut him off. I turned to see a fancy limo out of the street, with the driver waving to this mysterious man. Well, that's my ride. See you around, man. Wait. I stepped between him and the car. I don't know why. This wasn't my problem after all. Are you really just going to walk away? What if she's alone, crying, desperately seeking someone to tell her things, and things are going to get better? Are you really just going to leave her in that state to fend for herself? Aren't you just running away because you don't want to deal with the fallout? And that's why you ran away from home? Oh, I said something unnecessary. This isn't just about me, is it? No, sorry, I spoke out of turn. What happened to all my fire? Seems like maybe we have something in common. Look, I can't tell you how to handle your own love life issues. However, you might have a point. I am running away from this mess I made. If this were a movie, I admit that you're right, rush down to her place and with flowers and chocolate and tell her that I was wrong about everything and I want to give us another shot. The thing is, that's just now. What am I doing with the sentence speaking? The thing is, that's just now this thing is going to play out. I wish I could say that I'm choosing to walk away from her own good. But the truth of the matter is, I'm not strong enough to handle it. Not yet, at least. Excuse me, sirs, I've got your stuff here. Like a knife through butter, the store clerk managed to cut the tension by inserting himself between us with a cart full of shopping bags. He hands a bag of items that we asked for to each of us. Later, find out that he had mysteriously gone missing, leaving behind several strange symbols. What? Alright, I forgot why I came here. Hey, you were looking for this too? In his hand he holds the can. Yeah, I was just shopping for a... Come to think of it, what was Selena to me now? We seem to have a past together that I don't remember. She's been nothing but friendly to me, even though this may be the first time we've truly met. Are we friends now? Acquaintances at least? Something along those lines? I must be saying that blanking again. Anyone ever tell you that you have a habit of spacing out? Sometimes. All the time. Well, here, take this. Without letting me reject it, he just placed the can directly into my bag. Consider it payment for listening to me blank and moan about my love life. To be honest, it tastes awful, but I thought I'd try one for old time's sake. But like smoking, probably be a bad habit to indulge in the past. Well, I mean, you can have it if you... Sorry, can't hear you, car rambling. As he walks right by me, with my hand stupidly outstretched, with the can in hand to give it back, he mimes like a loud car engine is drowning out my voice. I'm not sure how that sentence made any sense. But then he stopped, with his back turned to me. Maybe someday in another life our paths will converge again. Then I'll be strong enough to face her again. Till then, it's better she finds someone who can give her the life I never could. And as for you, whatever problems you're dealing with, I don't know. Sorry, I'm really bad at this thing. Instead, I'll just give you some advice that they used to tell me. Sometimes it's better to just trust your instincts and see where they take you. What? And there we go. If I heard him right, he never answered. He just got in the car and he was driven away. Both physically and mentally. Could he be connected to... That'd be one hell of a contrived coincidence. But stranger things have happened, though. You could say that. Was this man did this man have a past relationship with Selena of any kind? Well, folks, we're going to leave it off here for the moment, midway through Chapter 3, and then we'll be able to go through the rest of Chapter 3, Chapter 4, and then Chapter 5 in the next episode, because it says in the synopsis of the game that there are 5 chapters of sweet moments about finding a new love and overcoming the past. So we are doing that simultaneously, and I think this is a game's strong point, actually. Not just the manga style visuals, which are really, really nice, and the monochrome aesthetic about it, giving it kind of a limited perspective, but within that perspective, each point is very, very strong. It intertwines both finding love and overcoming your past in a very, very nice way. It's always bouncing back between the past and the present, which is really nice. Thank you so much for watching, guys. There is a link down in the description below where you'll be able to check out this game for yourselves, and we shall see each other in the next time of Monochrome Valentine. Thank you so much for watching, and take care of yourselves.